Said, watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep your cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Dive Podcast. I am your host of Trap or Dive Podcast, Mual. AJ is in here. Dre is on the way. You know what time it is, man. This show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Trap or Dive promo code. First time users $5. Put your first $5 down, $50 in bonus funds. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're on the YouTube side. We appreciate you watching. Twitch, Twitter, however which way you are checked in right now. We appreciate you all watching. Benz, what's up? Sean, what's up? Everybody that's in the chat throughout the show, appreciate y'all interacting and being part of this thing. Audio side, hit that follow button. Rate and review if you can. It takes 10 seconds to do so, and it's free to show your support that way. We got Uncle Earl in the building. What's up, AJ?
Yo,
what's up, brother, man?
What's good? What's good?
How the stomach feeling, bro?
It's maintaining, man. It's maintaining. That's about it.
Hey, so when you do you have like soups? Like, do you drink like I said drink? Do you eat like soups and stuff like that when you have like an upset stomach, or like how do you?
Do I drink soups?
Was that like a soup incident? Like you needed something light on your stomach?
I mean, honestly, I ain't even feel like I wanted to eat. I ain't had no appetite. Yeah,
hey, Benz is hilarious.
Because I guess for me, I'm used to eating African soup, so like fufu and soup. I don't know how to make it. My mom not here to make it anymore, so yeah. So I really don't really have soups like that because I really don't know where to get like a solid, like good chicken noodle and soup that don't have a whole bunch of sodium. Because if you buy like chicken noodle soup from the store, no matter what brand, that's only got like 1,300 grams of sodium in it. So
I get mine from Panera bread too, and that's the funny thing because it's the same thing. When I eat the soup, AJ, I'm like, bro, you could taste the sodium, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I'm about to say you ain't got no African restaurant you can go to, AJ.
Nah, see, that's the thing with African food, bro. Like, especially West Africa, like each country makes their food differently. So like how I'm used to Liberian food tasting is not how people from Ghana make it, or Sierra Leone or Ivory Coast or whatever, Nigeria. Like everybody make their food differently. Like same thing with, that's why like if you ever had like African friends or just in general, we always battling about like jollof rice.
Yeah, it's like I hate each other.
it's just rice, but the way that we make it is so different. Like from my country, like we put like chicken, some people put like sausage, shrimp, mixed vegetables or whatever, and then the Nigerians just make it like red rice. Like it'd be so different. So it's like it's hard. Like I definitely earlier this year got forced into buying some African food from a Ghanaian restaurant. That joint was ass. I was like, never again, bro. So
how you get forced into that? Or was it just
because it was like it's like you go through withdrawals. It's almost like if you on drugs, bro. Like I just because my mom really could cook. Like not even just saying that because she was my mom. Like something that people paid her to do outside of her work. She ain't cater or whatever. She just could cook. So it's just tough, like eating somebody else's African food. Even like some of my aunts, they be trying to send little things. I'll be like, yeah, that shit nasty, bro. Like one thing I can't do, I can't fake with the food. Like if something nasty to me, it's nasty. I don't care who made it. It could be your 95-year-old grandma. She put that in front of me, I'm gonna be like, this some shit, straight up.
All right, well look, if you ever on my side, bro, I got this nice little spot that I go to. Now, granted, I'm gonna keep it a bug with you, bro, and this part is gonna disappoint you. I haven't had their African food yet, but they are African.
So what? So
yeah. I get their jerk chicken and their jollof rice, or I get their jerk chicken or their rice and peas. Yeah, but it's a I think she's damn. I never asked Flora where she's from, but I think it's either Nigerian or Liberia. If I had to, those are the two that's sticking out for me with her. But if you ever run that spot, bro, I'll take you there because I ain't have her jerk chicken in a long time. I go there.
I'm about to say, bro. I got one out here, which is actually surprising. Like in Waldorf, we actually got a West African spot, and I went there when I was sick, bro. And I told the lady, I was like, "Look, ma'am, I need some soup. I need something that's gonna make me feel better." She said, "I got goat meat pepper soup." She said, "Spicy." I said, "I like spicy." That was some of the best soup I ever had in my life, though, bro. Like it was so much goat meat.
It bring you back to life, dog. Like even in our culture, when you out partying. You had a long night, like y'all been drinking all day. Like before people normally leave the event, they'll have hot pepper soup because you won't get no hangover.
Yeah,
so it's just like that. It bring you back to life, bro. Like so, it's just I ain't had no soup, bro. And then I was in the store with my girl, and then she was like, you want to buy this what was it, $7 Panera Bread packaged soup in the store?" I was like, "No, girl, I already know it got a whole bunch of sodium in it." And then she looked, and it was like $12.50. I'm like, "Told you."
Like he said he had some brown curry goat that had him going through some things.
Man, I ain't never had no curry before, and I rarely have ate goat meat. But that's crazy.
Like curry. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, there's one thing, and we could move on after this, but there's one thing I had the best first impression with jollof rice ever in my life, bro. Because I was a kid, and one of my best friends when I was in elementary, he was Nigerian, and his family they didn't give a damn like where you was from. Like they ate what they ate in their house. So when I stayed the night at their house, they had jollof rice, bro. And I love spicy food, so like their jollof rice was super. I never had it before, but it was super spicy. And I'm like, damn, what is this? I was like, I ain't even had nothing else, bro. I just started piling my plate with just rice, bro, and just crushing that shit. So like that's honestly, even when I was a kid, like that's the last time I ever had jollof rice that was like spicy. I have a first impression, like it usually packs some heat, but I never had none since that's like spicy, and I'm still looking for it to this day. Swear to God.
Oh yeah, African people know them peppers that'll definitely make you cry, sweat. Like I'm talking about my family, they eat so much hot pepper that they be like crying tears while they eating, bro. Like that's how hot the food be, but they like it so much. I could do a little bit of spice, but I don't want to be crying like somebody just passed away. Like that's crazy. That's not the type of food I want in my life. But the crazy thing is I did go to a Jamaican restaurant before we end this. I went to a Jamaican restaurant 2 months ago in Alexandria on Richmond Highway. I think it's called Ruby's or Ruby's. Okay. Dog, the jerk chicken was so spicy, bruh. Like just like Jay Tyler, everything was burning, bruh. But it was good. Even the ginger beer was spicy, bruh. The ginger beer.
What's it called?
It's called like either Rumi's or Ruby's Jamaican restaurant on Richmond Highway. Like it's on the beginning part of Richmond Highway. So once you cross the bridge, it's like 5 to 10 minutes down the street. That joint, the food banging though. Can't even lie. Food good. It's just that if you're not used to it, if you're not expecting to get that heat,
Ruby's.
Yeah, you don't know what to expect. But as soon as you start eating it, it's like, yeah, this is good. It was really good.
Okay, 4 stars on the
spicy. Right. I love spicy, bro, but I can't do the too spicy jerk chicken. Tropicana on what was that? U Street on Florida Avenue back in the day. I think they turned it into one of them little jumbo slice joints, but they had the spiciest jerk chicken, bro. I couldn't do them.
Hey, Dre, you remember a Jamaican dude called Muffin Man?
Yeah, that was in Maryland, over there in Lanham.
Yeah, he used to have a spot. That was my guy. He ended up opening a spot in Falls Church, Virginia. I went to go get some earlier this year, man. Found out he passed away. So shout out to Muffin Man or whatever. Yeah, he was busting his ass with his Jamaican restaurant, bro.
Yeah, he had a legendary spot.
Yeah.
I added that, John. I'm in the same boat with you, Dre. Now, dietary reasons. They said for my my situation, Crohn's disease, I can't have too much spicy, so I gotta dial it back. But I used to love it. All right, that's enough food talk. Jay Tizzy, I get it. I'm actually interested in figuring out what African curry is like in terms of experiencing that. I'm like I've only had Jamaican and Indian, and I guess Thai. I think. So we'll see what's up. All right, so we don't have too much to talk about today, honestly. Only a couple things that's come out. Noah Brown has been placed on IR again. And Jayden Daniels is essentially done for the season. I think obviously we can start with Jayden and a conversation with Jayden. You know, for us three, I think we were kind of split because I think Dre, at one point you were. This is I'm talking about before the Vikings injury, before he returned to the Vikings game. We were in a standpoint of like, I think me and AJ said sit him. Eventually, when Terry came back and I saw the performance that he had against Denver, I said I'm interested in seeing what these last four can look like if he can come back. So when he was announced to come back against Minnesota, I was excited. And I was interested in seeing like what the offense can look like down the stretch. AJ was always, I guess, on 10 toes, despite anything, just sit him. Understandable. And I think Dre, healthy, if he's healthy and cleared, go ahead and play him. I think they made the right call. I think we all kind of understood at this point, you get hurt again, bro. Meaning before the Vikings game, you get hurt again, like there's no point in you coming back. And I think for Washington, he re-aggravating his elbow injury. I don't think they saw any positive outcome if he decided to come back after he misses a New York game. I think it was an easy call to sit him. And I think at this point, bro, it's just rest up, man. It's just an unfortunate season for a guy who, had such a year that he had in 2024 to only come back and play in 7 games in 2025 and only play 4 full games and really only be healthy in 3 of them because he played the full Packers game and got hurt. I hand it off to you all. But I know one thing, bro. In every single prediction that we had or every single scenario that we had with this season, bro, I ain't see this one coming. Yeah. Not even close.
Yeah, honestly, none of us. So we was kind of predicting what MVP season for Jayden and everything before the season. But yeah, for me, the premise when I was on, the whole kick about him, he should play if he's healthy.
What you say?
Like he's premise.
Oh my God, bro. Hey, today we're doing the spelling bee. I know I said that in the chat. No, today we're doing spelling bee, bro.
Next week.
Boy, I don't know
pronunciation. That's not spelling. I can spell the word.
Spell premise.
P-R-E.
I want to hear you. I want to hear you say premise on the job. I want to hear you like read the word and say that out loud on your job. I want to see what that looks like,
bruh.
Yeah, the premus.
I was like, what is the premus?
I struggle with pronunciation. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I struggle with a lot of pronunciation, but I can spell like shit though. So y'all don't want to do this.
We all in the same boat, whether AJ won't believe it or not. We all some shit. We're not good.
Like pronunciation, I struggle with that.
All right, maybe.
What you been saying? How you been saying Bill name all season, bro? Even after you got him to the event, you still fuck his name up.
Man,
Jakrowski.
Don't even try to say his name right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But maybe what we'll do to like end off our season or something, let like some of the listeners like send in some words that they want us to pronounce.
Damn,
I think like almost like a TNT moment.
Hey, you right though. I did.
We get a moderator,
bro. You right, man. We ain't had the best education.
Oh, a good person for that would be Disco. Disco would be a good person for that.
Hey, we get
Yeah,
Disco
yeah,
on it.
we could get Disco. We could get Disco to moderate. They're gonna have to send it to him on Twitter so we don't see the words in the private chat or something like that. So
Hey, but
yeah,
look.
that'll be fun. Yeah, let's make that an
We
event.
can do it.
Let's
We
see.
can do it, man. Look, like I
Yeah.
said, I'm a beast with the spelling pronunciation. I'm 60% on, 70% on. But no, man. My whole point was if Jayden's healthy, he could play, and I wanted him to prove that he could stay healthy, and he didn't prove that. He went out there. I mean, not to say that it was a serious injury or anything he had against the Vikings, but it was enough to scare you to say, okay, this is it. And then when they said that he could have went back in, but then they kind of said he couldn't. He wasn't playing that Giants game. I'm like, at that point, he is shut down. Like, what are we doing here? So, for me, they prolonged the conversation a week for what at this point? Like, what are we doing? A competitive edge thing still? Like, what's going on? Because I'm like, if he can't play in the Giants game, but you said he could have played in the Vikings game, now you're kind of flip-flopping and yo-yoing, which made me think that the call came from the front office. So at the end of the day, they made the right decision this time. Like, I mean, at this point, it was no advocating Jayden to go back out there and play. If you're going to sit him down, like, why keep playing with him in and out, in and out, in and out? And I think that led to a lot of the struggles you've seen from Jayden this season. Like, Jayden just couldn't get in the rhythm. He's in and out of the lineup. And not only is he in and out of the lineup, every time he comes back and plays, he's playing with different personnel. Like, you can't get into a rhythm. And I think Jayden is a rhythm player. Like, Jayden needs to see things constantly. He needs to see those reps constantly to get into the rhythm, to look good and, go out there and be the Jayden he needs to be. But if he's constantly in and out of the lineup, everything around him is constantly changing on a week-by-week basis, you're going to see those struggles. Like, the struggles aren't surprising to me. So just go ahead, sit him out, let him get right. Hopefully he can avoid the injury bug next year, because this is the first year that he's really dealt with injuries as far as keeping him out of games. He hasn't missed games throughout college, throughout high school, throughout the NFL up until this point this season. So just let him get right, come back next year, and hopefully everything, can break the right way this time, at least as far as injury-wise. Because I believe a healthy Jayden is going to give you what you saw year one from Jayden.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to whoever did make the call, if a call was made. It should have been done a long time ago, along with Noah Brown being on injury reserve. I knew something was coming today after he posted what he did yesterday. I was like, this man's over here posting clips from last year, this year, the one catch, whatever. But it's just like, at some point, man, there's no need to see more. Just rest up, rest up for the next season. Because at the end of the day, if the goal is for this front office to be able to bring in a bunch of players aside from just throwing money at them, at guys that are in the free agency market, it's selling them on the fact that they could play with a Jayden Daniels. So if that person goes out and gets injured for an extended period, I mean, such as we seen over the weekend, a guy in Pat Mahomes tore his ACL when the game was pretty much. I mean, they still had a chance.
Yeah, it was a 3-point game.
Yeah, it was I meant to say, like, they still had a chance, but now they got eliminated from playoff contention. He tore his ACL, probably not going to be able to return back until mid-October, if anything, of next year. So now your season is pretty much on the line next year with Kansas City. You're probably going to have some changes there. Then even with the Packers, Michael Parsons, they gave up a lot of asset to get this one guy in order of hopes to pushing them to the next level, especially when they get into the playoffs. And now he's gone for the year. He probably won't be back until October next year as well. So it's like anything could happen. And I just felt like he is your main player. He is one of your two blue chip players on this team. And he's the main reason why guys would even consider taking a lower pay or taking that opportunity to come into Washington, because you have that franchise guy. It's no different than playing Madden, just to simplify it for some people. Like, some guys in Madden, when you hit that free agency pool in franchise mode, some of their main motivations of where they want to go does this team have a franchise guy? And you need to make sure that that person is healthy, and you can help to acquire guys based off the fact you do have that main piece right there at QB. You're not really figuring out. I just think that it didn't make sense, like you said, Dre, for him to come back out there and be playing with a bunch of Jags. Like, it's just a bunch of guys. Like, I mean, just a collection of so many different wide receivers that we've seen this year, different variations. I mean, they elevated practice guy so much that he couldn't be signed. He couldn't be put on the practice squad again unless he was put on the 53. That just tells you that you had a wide receiver issue overall. And I mean, we don't know what's to come in 2026. I think a lot of people and his fans are giving Cliff some passes because of the fact that Jayden wasn't the quarterback or wide receivers weren't necessarily healthy. But I'm still hoping that there's some changes on the offensive side of the ball because I want Jayden to be in an offense where he feels more comfortable at the line of scrimmage, but also knowing that his wide receivers have a more extensive route tree and options versus having to feel the need to hold on to the ball a little bit longer and trying to create something on the fly. But I'm not necessarily concerned about him from a health standpoint. I just think that, you sit back, relax, and see how everything's going. Plan to start your recruiting trip in San Francisco at the Super Bowl when you got to do your appearances and maybe get some guys in here that fit with his play skill a little bit more because I don't think they have enough weapons that fit to what really made him thrive at LSU to win that Heisman that year. I don't see guys that replicate, what his real strengths are. So maybe, some things can change, but I didn't want to see him out on the field and put himself at risk of overcompensating for his body and also for the lack of players that he has around him.
Another thing that I think about too, that probably influences the decision. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but Marcus Mariota, he hooping. Like he got his one or two like bonehead moments, but like it's not like because what I'm saying is like they know the season's over, but like it's not like the people the receipt. Because put it this way, Sam Howell, whoever the other quarterbacks were with the other coach, it was times Carson Wentz. Damn, I don't know how I forgot. It was times in a season where you would look at like the offense and you couldn't evaluate the other players on the offense. And that was a big deal for us. That was a big deal for coaches. Like it was that bad. And I'm not sitting here saying, like I said, Mariota is like a superstar right now, but like he's playing above average football. And I think like they're not desperate to make a change at quarterback. It's easy to shut them down. And I think about what's important for Jayden as well is like a mental reset. I don't know. I don't know what everything that he's been going through, like mentally. But like there was weeks where he was off. Like this isn't like a full criticism of Jayden per se, but more so like I wonder like how much time off can really do wonders for him, where he's not focused about injuries, he's not focused about like the 7,000 different lineups at wide receiver and tight end. It's all about let me go ahead and support my teammates in a backup role and in practice, and then let's gear up for 2026. What the hell? That's what you was laughing at, Moneyball comment, Dre?
Yeah. Because he will take. He hears what he want to hear. That's Moneyball for you right there.
Okay. All right. User said, I don't know. What's up, user? He said if he stays healthy next year, are you extending him before 2027? Honestly. And we're going to talk about let's answer this question and then do our underdog and then come back to hear what Jayden had to say and what Dan Quinn had to say as well. So he said, are you extending him before 2027? So 2027, before 2027, it would be year 3. Typically, like if there's an extension, it would be year 4, right? So that would be 2028. Yeah. You get the 5th year option. I don't think you're extending him. If he had an MVP season, and we're talking about somebody passing for 4,500, 35 plus total touchdowns, Like, maybe you do try to extend him, but there shouldn't be a rush this early to try to extend him if he stays healthy. Just off the strength of if he stays healthy. I think there's opportunity for Washington to steal one more year of his rookie deal to try and bolster up the roster around him before you worry about having to pay Jayden.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There's no rush to get that done year 3, specifically because you do want to take advantage of that rookie contract. That's the whole point of having that 5th-year option, like to give Jayden another chance with, you possibly going out there spending a little bit more money. But that's on Adam Peters and Josh Harris. Like, as far as are they going to open up those checkbooks, and are they going to spend enough money to put things around Jayden, not just on the offense, but on the defensive side of the football as well. But you have to take advantage of that year as far as spending in free agency, possibly, maybe extending somebody else. And then you get that deal done with Jayden after year 4, before going into year 5, because you don't want to situate. And that one should be easy. That one should be almost like the Tunzel deal, what we've been kind of talking about with Tunzel. Like, the Tunzel deal should be an easy thing. That's an elite player. He's probably top 5 to 7 at his position. Jayden, if Jayden comes back and he stays healthy next year, and assuming, a healthy Jayden gives you what he gave you year 1, that's a quarterback in the top 5 conversation. That's an easy deal to have. So you shouldn't have any hiccups with that deal. Jayden can reset the market, and that wouldn't be a problem if he plays at the level that Jayden is capable of playing. But I don't think there's a rush to do so in year 3, just because you do want to steal that year, because when Jayden starts making that money, things going to get a little tight. Like, you see when quarterbacks start making that money, you have to sacrifice a couple of things. You're not going to go out there and be able to spend and, at a lot of different positions. You're going to have to, think about which positions you want to, put money here and there, because your quarterback's taking up a huge percentage of that salary cap. So you don't want to go a year early of the quarterback taking that percentage of that salary cap if you don't have to. So no, go into year 4 and get that done before year 5, but way early before year 5 starts. You don't even want to talk about going into training camp, not even close to training camp, without having that deal done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jayden Daniels or whatever, I would definitely look at possibly extending him sooner than later. I wouldn't necessarily wait on a long period of time to get that done. I feel that you can go ahead and try to get that knocked out the way and not necessarily have to worry about it. I think you're in a situation similar to like Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, and stuff like that. But that's really a decision that they got to make. I think that you found your guy. You just pretty much have to go about doing things a bit differently and seeing how you can build around him. Because I feel like you feel that he can lead you to the right places. It's just more so, hey, what are you going to get done? And I do agree with some of the comments where it's like the games is being built a bit differently offensively, schematically, when it's Mariota versus Jayden Daniels at QB. I don't know why that is, but maybe that's a comfortability thing where Mariota can be in that spread versus having to be forced to be in certain offenses like like the Titans, Raiders, and Atlanta, and he feels more comfortable there. So that's what I think.
Yeah, this is a Mariota. This is a perfect offense for Mariota.
Yeah,
like it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think when you're 10 years into the league, it's not only like something that you're familiar with schematically, but just like you've also seen several thousand different forms of cover 4, cover 2, all these variants of coverages and rush schemes. Like I think things it's a little bit easier for you to prepare for, and it's also something that you can succeed pre-snap with, just identifying some things. All right, let's take our break. When we come back, we will talk about what Jayden had to say. He spoke today. And then we'll cover some of the quotes from Dan Quinn, DQ. All right, it's time. Football season's in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. 5,000. And And I would love to know if y'all hit on a big underdog play. Go ahead and tell me what it was. Matter of fact, at me and show me you're winning. All right, so we got Los Angeles versus Seattle Thursday night football. That game's gonna go crazy. And because I know Emmanuel Forbes is on that defense, give me Jackson Smith and Jigba for 91.5 receiving yards. I think he's gonna get at least 120 on him. They'll find a way to move him around, get him involved early and often against the Los Angeles Rams. Matt Stafford, his number is low. His passing yards is at 237.5. For a guy who's been eclipsing 250 easily for X amount of weeks, I think that's a ton of respect for Seattle and their defense. And I'm going to go under. I think he can get like 230. Devontae Adams being out is not helpful because that boy, it looked like he tore his hamstring off the bone. Let's go Kyron Williams. We're going to go higher on his rushing yards, 54.5. And we're going to go, where's Sam Darnold at? I like Cooper Kupp. He's at 33.5 receiving yards. We're going to go higher on Cooper Kupp, 33.5 receiving yards on the day. So those are your 4 picks. Download the app today and use promo code CHOPPERDIVE to score $75 now. I said 50, but it's 75. We boosted it. And bonus entries when you play your first $5. That is promo code CHOPPERDIVE. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
So, Jayden had a full interview with the pressure of the media afterwards. I didn't get to hear the whole thing, so I saw some quotes that was coming out of it. Obviously frustrated and disappointed by his injury-riddled season. What I thought would actually led me to believe that his regression since the Vikings game in terms of his injury was real was when he said like adrenaline is one hell of a drug. So maybe he was like cleared on game day after he re-injured it, but maybe Monday or Tuesday when they did reevaluations, they kind of figured, yeah, you actually not right. So I bring that up because like conspiracy theorists who think that, you know, he's fully healthy and he could play now. I think we had this conversation last week where I said, like, I think he may not go in unless he's like 95+% like good to go. And I think that's kind of where they are too. If you ain't 99% healthy, we're not going to play you. And I think he's just never crossed their threshold, whatever it was. He never crossed their threshold, and therefore it's just not worth it. What do you all think about just general thoughts on Jayden speaking since he has time today?
I mean, I think when you got a team doctor, there's always a conflict of interest. You can kind of pretty much you could pretty much maneuver however you want to, whether it be getting clearance or not getting clearance. We've seen guys in the league play with even worse situations that probably wouldn't get cleared by any other medical staff outside of the organization. I just think with Jayden's injury, it's a contact injury, so you're not really going to get to test it out until you start getting hit. So whether you're playing good, you're completing passes, or incomplete situations, or you're running, you're hitting the ground, just human nature, you got to brace yourself for that fall. So you're going to be using your hands, your arms, whatever the case, to help you with that fall. And it's like, do you want that guy to keep going out there and testing that out? Because that's genuinely what's going to happen. No matter he could throw for 450 yards and 4 touchdowns in that particular game, but he's going to get tested out, whether they're in the pocket, out the pocket, could even just be an interception. I mean, he got hurt on throwing a pick and trying to run down and get the guy for a tackle. So it's just one of those situations where you really can't test that injury out until you're in the middle of a game and having to go through real life situations of getting hit. So I just feel like some people be like, yeah, he could play right now. Yeah, he could play if there was something actually on the line. If they were in playoff contention or had a successful record, I don't think you see him get shut down. But I think Dan Quinn was asked that question today, and he's like, well, we're not. So, there it is. And that's pretty much how I look at it. Because I think that even some of the injuries that he has occurred this year, if they were a better suited team overall, I think he wouldn't have probably missed any game, or at minimum maybe just one. But the season just didn't go as they thought, and as even we thought. We thought that they'd be in a better situation. It hasn't been that case, so that's just what it is.
Well, to be one thing, Dre, just to make things clear, because Jayden said one of the full things. He said adrenaline is a hell of a drug, but he said he actually said the part about the next days. Earlier, I didn't know that he said this, but he said Jayden said the next day that it became clear that his elbow injury was still significant. So in all, I think if it was my opinion, if it was a team that was a better record and they had a chance at the playoffs, it sounds like he still would have missed some time, but who knows if he would have been put on IR or something like that. I don't know. But it seems like he should have. That's another thing. It seems like he should have just never played the fucking Vikings game. But go ahead, Dre.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm kind of full-blown conspiracy theorist mode with Jayden and his injury. I think Jayden could play. I think he could have played the Giants game last week. Personally, I mean that's just me. But I think this gives them a valid excuse to say that we don't have to. We're not playing him anymore the rest of this season. I mean, I do think there's pain. I do think that he has some soreness there. But I do think that if there was something on the line, like this is a normal season, maybe if Jayden doesn't get injured a few times already this season, I think you see him go back out there and play this season. But I just think this is the best excuse that you have at this point. And it's a good excuse. Like this, instead of just saying, we don't want him playing anymore without, a really valid reason to say so. This gives you a legit reason. Like he did hurt that elbow. Like that elbow injury was ugly. He hurt it. But at the same time, if you went out there and threw him out there in the Vikings game, like what made you feel like out there in the Vikings game, he was healthy enough to play, even though, he went out there and he looked like he re-aggravated again, that he can't play anymore for the rest of the season. But I think this is just a way of protecting Jayden without kind of, setting off those alarm bells within the locker room. Like, oh, you're sitting him out. He's healthy. Yeah, you can say, hey, man, that elbow injury, we don't want to test it. And that's cool. That's fine. But I do think that if there was something on the line, that Jayden is playing for the rest of the season. Like, when you're talking about, if there's playoffs on the line or anything, but this is the right move at this point. Like, this is the right move. I mean, I don't know, who exactly, if it was a team doctor, Quinn, Adam Peters, whatever. But at this point of the season, there's no reason to test that out anymore. There's no reason to put Jayden in harm's way anymore and even try to aggravate anything, not even just the elbow, but anything on Jayden's body at this point. Like, there's nothing else to play for this season. And Jayden's already suffered a few injuries already this season. Just put him on ice at this point. And that's a good, valid reason at this point, is to say, hey, man, that elbow injury is significant at this point, and we don't want to play him. And Jayden, I think one of the quotes I did hear him saying today was, it's frustrating to get shut down. I'm a competitor. I want to play. And yes, we all believe that. But at the same time, I think Jayden also knows what's at stake. And Jayden probably has come to the realization that, yeah, man, this is not, the best situation for me to keep coming in and out of the lineup and playing, whatever the case may be. So
you think he knows that, Dre?
Knows what?
Like that this might be the best case scenario for him? Because I mean, you could be a competitor, but you also gotta understand, like, what am I competing for? Like, at some point, I think I look at it like, let's look at Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Like, Drake has been viewed as the number one rapper for the longest time and still is, and the numbers back that up. You go against a Kendrick Lamar, there's nothing for you to really gain from that, right? But you still let ego get the best of you, and you go and you put yourself out there to where you're going to war, you're going to battle, but there's nothing to gain. You're essentially in a lose-lose. You feel me? Because you the biggest guy. Whereas like how I look at it for Jayden is like you could be a competitor, but sometimes somebody gotta sit you down and tell you like, hey man, you gotta pick your battles. And what you're four? What's the record? 4-10.
4-10.
You're 4-10. What you could be a competitor all you want to, but you ain't getting to the mountaintop of what you're truly competing for, which is ultimately getting to the Super Bowl. And he got such a glory taste of getting so close to the Super Bowl his rookie year. It's just like, hey man, we got to slow you down. Like you can't keep coming back because when you have all these different injuries or whatever, you're overcompensating at some part of your body for those injuries. So it's just like he could be mad, whatever. I don't know if he really sat back and really got the true premise of what is going on. Because I mean, he's still young, but he also has played a lot of football. But I don't take from that presser that he truly understood why they're doing this. It's like he's still trying to get to that space of trying to understand, or am I reading that wrong?
I think he understood, AJ. For me personally, I read it as he understands, but he doesn't have to like it. You know, you can not understand. I mean, you can understand something, but you don't have to like it just because you understand it. And I think for Jayden, football is just fun to Jayden. Like we've heard Jayden talk about this plenty of times, even over the last year. Man, all I do is play football. I love football. I love the game of football. So even if he's not playing for nothing or competing for anything, Jayden is like, I'm missing games. And this is, you also got to remember, this is not familiar to Jayden. Like, you know, these injuries, like he may have been injured before, but he doesn't miss games. Like Jayden is used to playing football when his teams play football. So that's why I say I think he understands it. But like I said, just because you understand something doesn't mean you have to like it. Like I think Jayden is not having fun right now, not playing football. But at the same time, you see him out there in the practice field. He's still having fun with Dan Quinn. He's laughing, he's joking. He doesn't look like a mad or upset kid. But I know deep down it hurts him that he can't finish this season out, especially the way he's ended this season on a bad or a sour note for Jayden Daniels. Like he didn't end this season the way or that Jayden Daniels envisioned this season to go. So again, yes, I do think he understands, but that doesn't mean he has to like it.
Honestly, AJ, I think that's a really good question. I don't know how he feels, first and foremost. I mean, of course we don't, but like I can't even like lean which way and how he feels. Because like the response in terms of getting an idea of what he understands about his injuries or like how the organization even feels about him, it's likely going to play out on the field. Like that's when you kind of see like, do you get the message? Do you understand? And that doesn't mean like dial back who you are 1,000%, but like how can you be at your most effective like changing small areas of your game? That's not asking too much. You can figure it out. You're getting paid millions of dollars to figure it out, and it's an organization that's behind you. You got a fan base behind you. You got coaches behind you. They rooting for you. They need you. Like you can figure out how to tweak your game just a little bit. And I say that to say, I think in his responses today, I think he was just like more frustrated than anything because you're talking about a person who's rarely missing time in his collegiate career. He didn't miss time last year. So I think the overall injuries mounting up and like 3 different injuries, but had to leave the game 4 different times. One of them was one injury twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think those are things that's just probably the more frustrating thing is because, like, yo, you talking about a person who's like, this is not who I am. This has never happened to me. I'm mad. I'm a competitor. I want to play. But in terms of what you asking, AJ, is a really good question. I don't know if we're going to see that anytime soon. I think the next time we'll see, like, if he really gets the message and he really understands, like, the magnitude of, like, what you went through this year is how he plays in football in 2026.
But what does that look like for Jayden, Mual? Like, I mean, for me, like, how do you? I mean, for Jayden, I understand. You know, a lot of fans, like, especially when he takes off and he runs, you want him to get out of bounds. You want him to get down immediately. But some of those injuries are just freak injuries. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
check downs, bro. Find your. And when people don't see, like, when people say, like, when people wonder why people think that, or why people say that Jayden hasn't, or he could be better, like, those are one of the areas. Like, find your check down. Let them get those 5 yards or break something off more times than you trying to escape the pocket. Like, the sliding and diving down, I actually don't have a problem with that. Like, I think he's done a solid job of that even through last year and protecting himself in that fashion. Like, don't extend plays all the way towards the sideline. Like, more times than not, Jayden, if y'all notice, like, Jayden isn't like throwing the ball when he's like near the sideline. He just runs out of bounds. It's not like he's looking downfield to throw a bomb or to throw somewhere. Like, he usually throws in between the numbers. So, like, don't even risk the sideline stuff. Like, I think there is different ways to be more efficient in your game. And it all has to do with getting the ball out of your hands quicker.
Let me ask you this, as someone that watches a bunch of film, do you feel like Cliff in his offensive scheme when Jayden was playing this year gave him enough answers to getting the ball out that quickly? Because I think like what I see, and also what some of our listeners are saying that they see, is that people are not understanding why the game looks a little bit different when it comes to Mariota versus when it's Jayden Daniels back there. Hold on, I'm a talk on this.
Don't address it here,
bruh, because it's like, yeah,
I didn't even see it until you. Yeah, you good.
Yeah, because it's just like, nah, I ain't rocking with that. But at the end of the day, like, people are seeing the game called differently. So I feel like the offensive coordinator needs to challenge him a bit more or whatever. And I just wanted to get your personal take on that.
I saw it in the chat. I think those are the way in which it was tailored. The people that was the commenters in the chat, the way it was tailored. I think it was more of a convenience thing for people. Like, come on, think about it. Mariota played last year too. Like, Mariota played last year. They're like, it's a style of play that Mariota's comfortable with, and he's excelling in Cliff Kingsbury offense. Like, Jayden excelled last year too. I think we just got to understand there's some things like we know Jayden is super effective as a runner. Well, Cliff dials up several different designed run plays for Jayden, but also there's two things to note. It's not like he dialed it back for Mariota. Mariota still has RPOs in his toolbox that Cliff uses. The game that Jayden got hurt in Minnesota, they specifically didn't have RPO or any design run plays in there for Jayden because they couldn't risk it. So I think from like the way in which the actual responses or opinions on Cliff Kingsbury's offense, as it opposed to quarterbacks, I think that's just a thing out of convenience and just like looking for a reason to blame. If we're talking about specifically, though, answers for a quarterback, we can have that conversation about both of them, because I think we know the type of offense that Cliff Kingsbury has, and the offense that he has doesn't really give you too many answers outside of like what you're supposed to see pre-snap and how you're supposed to read things post-snap, right? And I think actually Hard Knocks did a good job in the last episode of even like showcasing that, and they're like 5 a.m. walkthrough, like what he wants to see from Jayden. Like if the safety shows such and such, like they talk about like what you're supposed to do pre and post, and what you should do pre and post. But I think the answers for like aligning your players in positions to be successful against like matchups and matchup based, I think that's kind of the conversation that we need to have. And also the ability to set up like the run or ability to set up the pass. Like I think those things are more important than like a quarterback versus quarterback thing. And Cliff doesn't really do a good job of being consistent in the run game, and he doesn't do a good job of giving the receivers the best chance to win matchups.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I just get frustrated with the whole Cliff thing, because it's like we're seeing teams missing some guys on offense and things still click.
I'm
And
about to put Moneyball in the timeout, bro. I'm about to ban him.
but
Moneyball love triggering us. That's his thing.
But yeah, it's just at the end of the day, man, when you see other teams play on a weekly basis, you just want to see more for Jayden from an offensive standpoint and being able to grow. Like you want him to reach his full potential. And I just think that in this current offensive scheme and how Cliff treats him, he's not getting the opportunity to grow. And that's because of just how he calls the games. Like, I mean, like you said, Maul, we see them not care about risk when it comes to Mariota running the ball. You feel me? Like, they might start the first 15 with Mariota running the ball at least 3-4 times in the first looks or whatever. But you do see a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. Even the play that we talk about where Cliff did dial it up perfectly against zero coverage, where Ben Sinnott caught with a 30-yard pass. A lot of people are like, "Oh, why don't we get Ben involved more?" Well, that was a strategic play call that was timed at the
rundown.
Yeah, it was timed at the perfect time, and Javon Holland didn't play his inside leverage, so he was able to get the advantage there. And Ben Sinnott making that play, but you don't really get to see a lot of those opportunities with Jayden. I don't know if it's because Cliff knows Jayden can do so many more things with the ball in his hands, whether it be out of the pocket or within the pocket, or even the way that he throws the ball from an accuracy standpoint. I don't know, but it's just if I truly believe that we have a franchise quarterback, we're going to pay him this long-term, big-time money at the position, I want to see him be challenged by his offensive coordinator and being able to grow off of that each year, not coming back and trying to run the same things all the time, because I feel like that's where you can kind of say maybe people caught up a little bit, because the offense to start the year off was very vanilla, whether you had Terry at the outside or Noah at the outside. It just wasn't really challenging defenses enough to feel threatened. And that's my biggest gripe with Cliff's offense. So that's just something that I've been thinking about.
Here's one thing, and I'm good, Dre, you got the floor. One thing we also got to keep in mind, regardless of how we feel about Cliff, like understand any coordinator that can get their hands on a Jayden Daniels is going to view him as like the ultimate weapon, like point blank period. Like he is the offense, and that's how a coordinator will view him. I'm not sitting here saying that like if you structure him in an offense, like it won't work. I think you can really create a demon in the most positive way. Like you can create a dog if you find him in the right scheme and you can get him to fit within that structure, and then obviously break out and do his thing when the time calls for it. But like I think we got to understand like that he really is like Jayden is like he's a dog, bro, and like things do change when he's in a lineup versus a backup quarterback. You got it, Drake.
And Mo, you actually kind of went where I was going to go with that, because I think with Jayden, and this is kind of the opposite of when you hear fans say that, oh, he's calling a different offense for this guy versus this guy, but it's usually more so to help this guy look better. That's usually what fans think. But in Jayden's case, I think Cliff respects the hell out of Jayden so much, and he thinks so highly of Jayden that he always thinks Jayden can go out there and carry an offense regardless of who's around him. And I think that was the curse this year. That was the curse, because I don't think Cliff ever adjusted to the personnel around Jayden this year. And I wanted the offense, because when Jayden's out there throwing to Chris Moore and Treylon Burks and Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey, and those are his like main top receivers in games for a lot of times that he's out there playing. Like, you have to adjust to that. Like, he can't make everybody look like a star. And I kind of thought that it would have served Jayden better to go more 13 personnel, more 12 personnel when you have that type of personnel out there with you at the receiving group, and you can kind of go a little bit more run heavy. But Cliff trusts Jayden so much, and he believes in Jayden's ability so much that he thinks Jayden can go out there and gunsling with anybody out there receiver. And I think that hurt Jayden at times this season. And that's one of those things you want to see kind of Cliff evolve with. Because to me, you have to adjust to the personnel. Like, I get it. I get that you think that this quarterback is great. And he is. We think he is too. Like, we still believe in Jayden. But at the same time, he's not always going to be able to elevate everyone around him, especially when you're talking about third, fourth, and fifth option receivers that are now thrust into bigger roles. When you're talking about like that Dallas game, I go back to that game when you have Chris Moore, Treylon Burks, and Jalen Lane as your top receivers in that game. Deebo Samuel was out. Terry McLaurin was out of that game. Like, you didn't have top receivers in that game, but Jayden's still going out there passing every damn down. He's out of gun every down. But I thought that it would serve Jayden more if he kind of got some more of those Mariota looks. But like I said, I get it. I get that Cliff respects Jayden. I get that Cliff thinks highly of Jayden. But I just think this year, when you're facing injuries the way you face this season, when your offense isn't the normal offense that you're playing with every week, that you have to adjust to that personnel. Like, don't put it all on Jayden's back to say, go out there and be a gunslinger, even though you don't have the proper personnel around you to kind of make these things happen. I mean, he did that last year, but last year you had Terry all season. You had an OZ who was pretty reliable. Noah Brown played a lot more games last year. Zach Ertz was reliable last year. So, I mean, you didn't really have a lot of that this season, and I thought Cliff didn't do a good job of adjusting to that. Now, I don't know if Cliff's coming back next year, but if he does come back next year, I get it. You still put your trust in Jayden, but you also have to, adjust to whatever you have around Jayden to make this offense successful.
Well, I think Cliff needs to also adjust as well. Like,
he does.
Just as a play caller, like, you got that time away from the NFL. You came back and you made it seem like you were going to do things a bit more differently. But year 2 started to look a lot like how it did in Arizona. And also with Kyler had to run around a lot more, having to put himself at risk of injury because there wasn't a lot of answers to the problem. So it's just one of those things where I don't know what's going to happen offensively for the offensive coordinator position. But I just think that when you watch a Miami, when you watch these other teams, and like a Detroit, you watch Chicago, what's another offense? The Rams. When you see the different variations of things that they do, just even outside, like even within gun or under center, whatever the case is, you just kind of get a little jealous of, damn, why we ain't really like running some of that? Like, why aren't we creating more motion offensively to throw people off? Like, why aren't we seeing more elements of like the run game in different ways and playing off the run pass or the pass run? It just gets a bit frustrating. And Jayden is a football savant. So I'm pretty sure for him, he probably just feels a little bit more challenged, and then not having the personnel around you, it just hurts even worse. Like, so I don't know, but I think that's one of the main highlights of this season. Like, yes, it didn't go as we all imagined. I thought they'd be right back in contention to go to the Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. But I mean, in this offseason, we get to see what they'll do to bounce back. And I think a lot of the moves will be over analyzed and should be, because we don't feel like they did enough to build out this roster depth wise, whether it be at the wide receiver position or pass rushers, to where if you did suffer injuries, you could still be able to maneuver in that space. And teams are still being able to be productive even with losing major pieces. 49ers are what? They're maybe 5th or 6th seed as far as the playoffs.
49ers?
Yeah, they're a wild
Yeah,
card.
and they don't have Fred Warner, they don't have IU, they don't have Nick Bosa. They lost Purdy for a good bit of the season. Now he's coming back. like they've been without guys. And, you know, Washington is just one of those situations where everything falls back on 5. And that shouldn't be the case, especially under a rookie contract. You should be able to get more from the guys around him or that you're going to bring into the fold.
Yeah, I was about to say, AJ, that's actually this is my last thing. That's a good point. There was way too much reliance on Jayden Daniels this season. I think that bled into the offseason last year because they saw what Jada could do, and they didn't go out there and have urgency this past offseason. And I think that's going to be the big thing that Adam Peters has to look at this offseason and say, we cannot put everything on Jayden Daniels. He did great the first season, leading us to the conference championship game. But this season was a disaster, and he didn't play a lot this season. So you have to insulate this roster just in case he gets injured to say this roster can still stay afloat when you talk about those 49ers teams and all of that. So a lot of that goes back to Adam Peters, and he's going to have that change of philosophy this offseason.
Yep. I think we'll go ahead and end it here. Again, appreciate everybody who chopped it up in the chat. Moneyball. You an asshole, F you. Appreciate you anyway. Monty, Fuad, J Tizzy, Rez, etc. Appreciate y'all who chopped it up. We will be back on Thursday, all 32 back tomorrow. And then we got a game on Saturday, man. So we will see you all then. Fellas, I'm on my second day of my juicing cleanse, bro. When I tell y'all, bro, all my content that I look at on YouTube is like those food content creators, bro. I be looking at them eat their food, bro. I be looking.
Why are you torturing yourself, bro?
You got to clear your.
I live through them. I live through them, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Granted, I ain't gonna lie to you. I do that. I do that like casually before I did the cleanse, but now I'm like every short or every Instagram reel, I'm like, I need to see what they eat.
Maul, go watch the 2017 movie. That's what I've been doing because I'm watching Welcome to Derry, so I'm connecting all the pieces and everything.
Ain't it your last day tomorrow, right?
Yeah, my last day tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm Thursday I'm good, but I'm gonna be in the office tomorrow. So, bro, we got a holiday party tomorrow too. And I'm like, bro, like, how am I supposed to maneuver when I go to the joint? Because I know we're going to a restaurant. So I'm like, how am gonna go to the joint and like tell them like I'm not eating or drinking? Like,
is in the daytime?
I could do a half day. Oh, I could do a half day.
Hey,
I work in the city, AJ. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
No, I didn't know if your holiday party was at night or in the daytime.
Oh yeah, no, it's during
government
do
days.
It's
like we won't do nights.
Yeah, it's during the work day, like at 1 or 2 o'clock. So we on the clock, turn it up.
Nah, this what you do. Order a bunch of food and have that joint for Thursday.
No.
Nah. I'm about to say that's a little weird. When you sitting at the table not eating, you're like, what you doing with all that food, bro?
Yeah, then I gotta start handing here, have some. Yeah. No. All right. We'll be back on Thursday. The fellas, all 32 back, or all 32 is live tomorrow. And then game day on Saturday. Y'all take it easy, be safe, all that good stuff. We up out of here.
Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Damn, set. Watch you throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through 4th and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.